you go,
And welcome everyone to the very first edition of 2016 of GPL 357, where here we are a few degrees short of a full circle. First of all, I'd like to announce our new host. After Theo moved on, we have the man behind the bar, Scotty Willans. How are you, Scotty?
Good time, good to be here.
It is great to have you on board, and we are going to today just go through a quick analysis of the draft which happened over the previous weekend and have a look at the first round coming up in this year's season. So we'll initially talk about the draft. It was wonderful, a really interesting draft we had in front of us. Lots of talent in the draft it was, and some of the team captains made some selections which raised a few eyebrows.
And we lost a few team captains as well.
There's a few team captains gone, a few name changes, and we'll discuss that later on. But we might start off by having a look at a few of these teams. I'm going to start with the F-Troop. F-Troop, who they're having their lunch, yearly start to the season lunch at the railway on Nicholson Street on Friday. It will mean they'll be hard to beat this weekend.
Free lunch for you, Tony, for that?
Sadly not. It'd be nice, but no. Not so. Who you got there, Scott?
I've got the Vultures. Perennial disappointments they've been, the Vultures, and particularly nosedived last year after they brought in that magenta uniform last year. They've made 5 changes to their team. They've got Keegan Michael back from a team spirit rule. They've been able to get Wayne Finkelp at a very good pinch. Emilio Bessie, he's a regular contributor, so he'll be there.
Regular player, yep.
Yeah. Michael Campese, another slider in the draft. Very good selection.
And he'll go very well, I'm sure. The next team I've got is the Old Dynasty. They're now the name change first. There's a couple of name changes. The Wolfpack, they've called themselves, nothing to do with Downsy's young son, I'm sure. His name's Wolf, but the Wolfpack last year finished 10th and had one of the highest scoring teams. A great team, but they just failed the show. And they've made a move on that, losing a few of their players. Jaron Moore came in at pick 6, related to the Mansfields, which, let's face it, those genetics are bound to doing well.
I've got the back 9 Mafia. A new change there.
Former Brother W, as they were, the merged team, Triple W and the Brothers in Arms merged, and now they've changed their name.
Yeah, only one change for these guys. They lost their fearless leader, David Fairless. Good luck to the new captain, Kerry Giorgio.
Kerry Giorgio, who had just final game 44 points, which you'd have to wonder if that's going to do his handicap any good for the GPL season.
No, not a good
Saturday before it starts, but a good round nonetheless. Good form. I'm going to talk about the Wanderers next. They finished 7th last year. They lost their first final. We're going to taste the finals action. Unchanged they are. They've got some really good steady players. Corey Mansfield, Marine Lee, all Latrobian last year, and second in the Charles Latrobe. Their captain he's getting his putting under wraps, so he'll be much stronger, and I think they once again should feature in the finals. How about yourself, Scotty?
The Tunners, the perennial losers in the finals. They think we don't like them. They think we got an adventure against them, but we don't. No changes to the Tunners team this year. They know what they've got to do. They've got to win a preliminary final to make their first grand final.
Geez, it'll be a big night if they lift that cup up too. It'll be a massive night.
Yes, it will be.
Well, I'm going to talk about the Tridents, the Premiers themselves. They finished 4th in the top 4 and rode that strong position all the way to the Premiership Cup, beating the Buglers. However, they're losing Tony Levington and Jeff Blackman, 2 really consistent performers. They are a consistent team anyway, but I tell you what, they're losing 2 giants of their team. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from those 2 losses.
They are 2 big outs. Now, Tony, I'm led to believe they were down in Victoria devising their way of going back to back. Have you heard anything what their plan is?
They're keen to go back to back. I see the Trident screen has managed to get itself on the table. They'd be keen to go back to back, but geez, it's going to be tough this year. It's going to be a big season.
Yeah, I've got everyone's favourite love-to-hate team, the Ferrets. They've got one change.
It's a big one.
It is a big one, yeah.
Rare we lose a Premiership captain.
2-time Premiership captain. Bill Adams has left the Ferrets.
He's left for work, can you believe? He's got work to do with his brother's got a new business. He's going to help his brother out. Family ties are strong.
Yes, that's good. That always comes first in this game. Look, the Ferrets last year weren't as bad as the 14th spot. Their scores were pretty good. I think they just ran into good teams on good days. So yes,
as they say, good team out of luck. And next I'm going to talk about the Gummers. The Gummers, they finished third last year, really good side. However, last year, devastating, out in straight sets, finished third and lost their two finals, so they'll be looking to bounce back from that. Their captain, Shane McCarthy, is in the form of his life. He's now +1, so we'll see if he can carry that into the season. He's going to need to.
Yes, as he normally does. I've got the Sewer Rats. I surprised a few people last year making and also winning their first final last year.
It was a big surprise.
Yes, it was a big surprise. Now they talk their chances up, the old Sewer Rats. They do represent that pink well, so good luck to them in this year. No actual change to their lineup for 2016 for the Sewer Rats.
A little bit of Sewer Rat in the Pro Shop uniform, you'll know.
It's infiltrating the whole place of Sewer Rats.
Next I've got is the Mighty Buglers, who in Mark Carafa. The man they rated #1 in the draft, would you believe? The old cliche?
The old cliche. We would have picked him if we hadn't had the first pick. So.
Well, they got him and we'll see if it works. He's a big brute of a man. He mixes cement for a living and his forearm suggests that he does it well. So 3 grand finals losses in a row.
Yeah, last year can't be blamed. That was an awesome performance by the Trojans.
Yeah, the Trojans took them away, there's no doubt. But they are hurting, and I'm sure once again that they'll do their utmost to be up there in the pointy end at the end of the season.
Yes, well, we've got the mighty Wood Ducks, a team that's been pretty disappointing other than the first couple of years. They've made 4 changes to their lineup this year. They've gained 2 players back from Team Spirit in Stephen Crackle and Chris Ryan.
2 good ins, those two.
They are 2 good ins. Rob Sparvelis, as we heard earlier, has gone back to which team's he gone?
Off to F Troop with his brother, the Sparveli of F Troop.
Yep, and they've lost their actual spiritual leader, the King Wood Duck himself, Ingram. But they've also lost Theo Marilakis, the former person who used to sit in this spot.
Big Theo, unbelievable. The Phoenix, the Wooden Spooners from last year, now they have turned over a leaf like I don't think any team ever has. New captain, Jenny Cummins, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming the first female captain. She had the first round pick and she's picked Caroline Streeter, the first female #1 draft pick as well. Cut her teeth in pennant last year. And I've no doubt will go really well. And they also got what I consider to be the biggest slider of the draft in Mitch Grandel with their second pick. 2 wonderful picks, and I've no doubt that the Phoenix will rebound.
Yes, the all-night chemist, the good old all-night chemist. They talk a lot, but they don't deliver normally. But they've got 1 change to their lineup. They've lost Callum Brown and brought in pick 5, Adrian Russo. So
very, very happy Adrian was to be a chemist. He got the email that he was a chemist, jumped in the car, straight around to Jamie, his mate's place, with the champagne. They popped it. I've never known anyone so happy to be an all-night chemist. So there you go. Well done. They should rebound. Scotty, Wally World.
Okay. There's been 2 Team Spirit selections. These are. They've lost Greg McLeod and
Connie Boglis. 100 game play, Connie, one of the originals.
Okay, so they're probably 2 big outs, but they've got back Santo and Peter Higgins have come back through Team Spirit rule. Look, Wally's World have been a consistent performer in this competition since day dot, and I can't see it changing this year. Yeah,
pretty handy. Santo and former All Latrobe and Peter, just a really good solid thing. And finally, the Corruptibles finished second, lost the preliminary final in a countback to the Trojans, who eventually went on to win it. Man, this is amazing. They have lost truly the spirit of their side, and Michael Bordeaux, who only way you could replace Bordeaux. Aaron Carroll, who did slide, and the teams that overlooked him will be disappointed. But I've got something to say about the Corruptibles, and I'm hearing a rumour that their famous uniform, the smoking gangster. They're looking to replace this work of art. Now, I've got something to say to this. These name changes, changes the captains, changing of uniform of such beauty. You are trading away, you cannot write the future by trading away your past. What they have done in this uniform has been inspiring. Sometimes the not so beautiful makes someone a better person. They are a greater team and they walk in these shorts.
Is it like that pedal pop line the Lions had for a few years?
It is. This is even better. They walk better and they play better by the bond that this shirt creates. People shy away from them and that's what brings them together. And to lose this fabric of their team, I think, will be the death of them. They have won the last two team survivors. This is the ultimate in team spirit, to survive together in this shirt. And with the spiritual leader gone, it seems the shirt is too. I predict a plummeting fall from the Corruptibles this year on the basis of this. I don't think they realise that the fabric of their team is woven into the fabric of this shirt.
That's a big call, Tone. Big call.
Yeah, they'll drop out of the 8 for sure. The Corruptibles, if they change the uniform, they have got no chance of holding. No chance of holding themselves up. Well, I'll do. I'm going to keep that as a memento. So we'll do a quick run through the tips, mate. First of all, Corruptibles, volleyball for sure. Unless, of course, they wear the shirt. But volleyball for me.
All right, Chemist versus the Phoenix. Phoenix, I reckon Phoenix might win this with their two new players that they've brought into the side. I think Phoenix might be too good for the All Night Chemists.
Vultures against the back nine Mafia.
They normally start the season quite well, the Vultures. But I think the back nine Mafia looks steady. Will be a bit too steady for the Vultures this week.
No worries. F-Troop against Wolfpack. F-Troop to me on the basis of the lunch on the Friday. They always perform well after a good lunch, the old F-Troop.
I think...
the Tridents versus the Tunners. This is a bit of a blockbuster. Two perennial top scoring sides.
Yeah, Tunners for me. I'm going to pick the Tunners every game this year just to keep Red Leaders happy.
Wanderers versus the Ferrets. I'm going to go the Wanderers. The Ferrets, they're going to be jet lagged. Half of them went to altitude training in China for the last 2 weeks. They fly in late Friday night. I can only imagine they'll be given the drinks are fair hiding. They're free drinks on an international flight. So I think the Wanderers might be a bit strong first up. And Wood Ducks versus the Gummers.
Yeah, I like the ins the Wood Ducks are brought in, but the Gummers are just too inconsistent from my liking. I think they're just going to be a bit too good for the Wood Ducks.
Very consistent. And finally, the Buglers, who you'd have to suggest with Carafa in, will probably start as the premiership favourites. Buglers against the Surats. This is a blockbuster. I'm going to go the Surats because they wanted this game. They specifically asked to take the Buglers in the first match. They're keen as mustard. So the Surats for me.
Yes, they were keen to get this match over the line, but I'm going to go with the Buglers being starting with a monthly medal stroke round. I think they've got more of the lower handicaps, and I think they're just going to be too strong for the Surats.
Well, we will see. That is the tips for this year. Thank you very much, Scotty, for your input today. To everyone out there, this is the start of another journey to the top of the mountain. If you want to play well, you need to turn up and play well. This has been GPL 357, and we'll see you next week.